Hey there, Joel here, and welcome to this online class. Today is the part 2 video of the chapter Weather, Climate, and Adaptation of Animals to Climate. Before I proceed in today's video, let's just recap what we have studied till now. We learned how to Google weather reports. No, just kidding. The different parameters which tell you about weather. So there is precipitation, there is humidity, there is wind speed which determine, and temperature which tell you the weather. So what is weather? It's a day-to-day condition of the atmosphere with respect to temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind speed. Oh, and by the way, that precipitation and rainfall means the same. So who gives the weather report to us? It's the meteorological department. And where is it located? In Goa, it is in Altino, Panaji. So we use something called as a measuring instrument called as rain gauge to measure the amount of rainfall. Then we studied that weather is a complex phenomena where it varies over a very short period of time. You just say it like this and the weather is changing. No, if I do, it won't change. If probably God does, it might. So all changes in the weather are experienced only because of the sun and the distance between the sun. So that is what the slide tells you about. Then we came to an understanding that we calculate the maximum temperature and minimum temperature. Maximum temperatures are calculated in the afternoon. Minimum temperature are calculated in the morning. There was a simple question that I posed: why don't we calculate the minimum temperature in the evening? And the logical reason for this would be because the entire temperature that is experienced is because of the sun, right? So during the day, that is in the afternoon, so much of sunlight is shining on the earth, that much of heat is being absorbed. So when it is evening, that much of heat is radiated back in the atmosphere. So the temperature that you will get will not be so accurate as compared to what you get, what you can get the reading in the morning. So logical reason would be calculating the minimum temperature in the morning and maximum temperature in the afternoon. A number of you all answered the question correctly in the previous video. Then there was a question looking at all these temperatures, minimum and maximum. Can you tell which place it is? So just looking at the temperature, it is impossible to tell, but also knowing the amount of rainfall, we can say that it is Kerala, because Kerala receives rainfall almost throughout the year. So because of which the temperatures are slightly lower, and if you can see the minimum and maximum temperature, there's no much vast difference between them. It's not like extreme cold and extreme hot, it's over there, right? So Kerala is the place. Then we learned about climate and how we determine a climate of a place. So it is the weather that is checked upon for almost 25 years, not just one day. So 25 years of accumulated data can give us an idea of what is the climate of a place. Okay, so till here we learned in the previous video. So if you haven't watched the video and you want a better understanding to that part, then I would recommend please go ahead, watch the video. I will link it maybe in this card or in the description. And before we jump into today's class, let's roll this intro. Now, I have two pictures over here. One is a nice snow-clad area with a camel in the place and a penguin too, and the other is a desert area with a polar bear. Is something odd over here? Of course, there is, right? The camel should have been in the desert, and the polar bear should have been in the snowy area. But why do you say it? Just because you know that it is like that? Or is there a change in how an animal grows, or there's an adaptation in with the animal so that it can stay in a particular area? So let us understand that in this video. So, what is adaptation? An individual's response to the surrounding, especially to climate, is called as adaptation. And Darwin was a scientist who gave his first theory of evolution. So he said that we adapt to survive. So does it mean that only animals adapt to survive? Don't we as human beings adapt to survive? I'll give you a very simple example. This is not an adaptation as such, but you can understand the meaning in a much better way. Say for example, you did some mischief at home, and you broke a vase or something at home, and you have your siblings, and when your mother or your father asks you who broke the vase, your immediate response to that probably would be, I ain't na, that is your way of adapting so that you can handle that survival. Okay, your survival is the beating, so you are surviving that beating with a response. So an individual's response to the climate, okay, is called as adaptation to for survival. So adaptation is usually for survival, and I've put a picture over here, if you can see right there, that there are some giraffes who are trying to eat some leaves, and in one place there is one giraffe which is dead. Why? Is because the other giraffes have a longer neck, and the giraffe with a shorter neck is dead because probably there is no food around that place with that lower height so that the giraffe can eat, because of which it is dead. So in the process, usually it is understood that over the years of time, okay, the giraffes were looked somewhat like horses, and then because the plants grew a little higher, so they started stretching their neck a little bit higher, and in the process giraffes have a longer neck. Now, did it happen in just 1 year's time? No, it has taken those thousands of years and that adaptation to take place. So it is not a very quick change that is occurring. It takes a number of years for the adaptation to go ahead. So it's an individual response. What is climate? All these questions you should know. Okay, why do you think animals adapt? I've already given an answer with an example for you. So if you can write it in your own words, perfect. Then name some countries in the polar region. The polar region is what you can see in the green color over there in the picture. Then name some countries in the tropical rainforest region. So you can just find out some answers to these questions. That will help to tell you that you are understanding the chapter perfectly. Okay, tropical regions are these which are marked. Now I want you to look at this video and find out where is a polar bear. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds to notice this animal in this wide space. Did you notice? And if you did, then you can write down the time at which you noticed it. So you have around 24, 25, 30 seconds maybe. Okay, 26 seconds. So I hope you are able to notice where is the polar bear in this region. It is right here. How many of you all were able to notice it? If you did notice, then please do mention the timestamp in the comment section. So it was difficult to some, right, to notice where this polar bear is. Why? It is because the snow is white and the polar bear fur is also white. So, is it an adaptation that the animal has undergone through for survival? Let us understand. Does the fur do any good to the polar bears? Because you know that normal bears have, black or brown color fur, but polar bears have white. So does the color do any good to them? Let us understand. So the color of the fur does play a very important role. Why? Because white fur is not easily visible in that white snow. That white fur is not at all visible. Predator and prey are unable to see. The one who is trying to find out, or search for an animal to eat, and the animal who is actually hiding are both not able to notice that someone is coming to attack. Then the layer of the fur also plays a very important role. They have too thick layer of fur. They're like this nice, soft teddy bear. Why? Because it keeps them warm in the cold weather. No one gives them blankets to survive, right? So the fur plays a very important role. The sharp claws, they have long, sharp claws. Why do polar bears require the sharp claws? That is, so that they can walk easily on the ice. Otherwise, they will slip, right? So the claws help them, to get better control when they are walking over the ice. Strong sense of smell. They have very strong sense of smell, which helps them, to locate food from a very distant spaces. So they can, the sense of smelling is very good, and they know, where exactly their food is. So color of the fur, layer of the fur, sharp claws, and strong sense of smell is an adaptation of polar bears for survival. Next, other animals living in polar regions are many actually. So, musk, oxen, reindeers, foxes, seals, whales, and birds are, different examples of animals that are found in the polar region. Okay, so if you notice the ones where, they are actually found in completely snow area, they're usually white in color. That's their adaptation. That is their way of survival. Then you must have noticed something or heard about Siberian crane. Now I can't ask you this question. Where are Siberian cranes from? They're from Siberia. Okay, so that's why they're called as Siberian cranes. Now they migrate just like how polar bears adapt. Polar bears don't migrate to a different place. Imagine polar bears from polar regions coming to India for survival. Not going to happen, right? So like that, there are other animals like these cranes. They take a different mean of survival, different approach to survive, and that is they migrate to a warmer region. So usually Siberian cranes require a warmer temperature. But what happens in Siberia is there are times when it is 6 months it is very cold, and the other times it is warm. So the warmer time they stay over there, but during the colder season they migrate. That means they travel, they fly from Siberia to all the way to Rajasthan. Okay, so that much of time, space travel they do only to survive. So they migrate to warmer region. Okay, Siberian cranes fly from Siberia to Rajasthan, as I've told you, and or they go to Sultanpur in Haryana. So that much of distance they fly just for survival. The other animals that are found in tropical regions are snakes, then cheetah, panther, all you can think of, tiger, elephants. Okay, then during hot summer, now why is this temperature so good, for these animals? During hot summers, the temperature may even cross 40 degrees. So these animals can survive that temperature. These regions get plenty of rainfall. So does plenty of rainfall do any good to these animals for survival? Of course it does. When there is a lot of rainfall, the herbivorous animals, not the carnivores, the herbivorous animals will have a lot of abundant food to eat. And when there is a lot of food available for herbivorous animals, the carnivorous animals can eat them. So the this tropical forest area is a perfect place for many animals. Then animals living in rainforests are monkeys, apes, gorillas, tigers, so many other. Okay. Next, let us look at some more adaptations of the other animals. Now, red-eyed frog developed sticky pads on its feet to help it climb trees. So, this red-eyed frog is a kind of a frog which has red color eyes. Okay, so it has sticky pads. Now, what do we mean by sticky pads? The feet of the frog, they're a bit sticky, and that helps this kind of frogs to easily climb on trees. So it's a kind of an adaptation that has taken place. Next, the toucan is a bird which possesses long, large beak to reach the fruits and branches. So, birds usually sit on the higher level of the tree, right? And even the branches which are very delicate, so sometimes they can just break if we go and try to hang on them. But these birds rest or sit on such branches. Now because the beak is long, they can take their beak and capture that food from a distance. They don't have to literally fly and take do all those kind of stunts to get food. So fruits and all can be captured because they have a longer beak. Next is the trunk of an elephant is to pick up food, okay, and break trees. So elephants are huge. They can't bend down to remove food. So the task helps them to, just toss, whatever food if they want to eat, and, or sometimes use their trunk to remove it. The task helps them sometimes to break break trees into two pieces, or and if any other predator comes to attack them, the task are like their defense mechanism. They can fight with that. There are so many, every animal you can think of does some adaptation for survival. So I hope you were able to understand whatever adaptations that we dealt in this today's video. If you did understand, then please don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon for notifications. Till then, take care, and I'm sorry for ranting this same statement all over again every day, every video. Do like and subscribe, because that motivates me. Your comments do motivate me a lot to go on making videos for you to understand science and mathematics in the most simplified manner. Till then, take care and bye bye. God bless you.